Ever walked into an H&M store with nearly 5,000 stores across 74 global markets? Chances are you have. H&M, the Swedish fashion giant, has built its brand on being accessible, trendy, and global. They've long championed the idea that diversity strengthens their company, valuing diversity in people and ideas, as well as in personal style. But in January 2018, a single image threatened to tear down that entire reputation. An image that sparked global outrage and forced the company to confront a painful question: was its commitment to diversity just a facade? The controversy exploded over a product photo on their website. It featured a 5-year-old black child model named Liam Mango wearing a green hoodie. Printed across the chest in bold white letters was the phrase, "Coolest monkey in the jungle." The internet erupted. The term monkey has a long and venomous history as a racial slur against people of African descent. Associating a young black boy with this term, intentionally or not, was seen as deeply racist and tone-deaf. To understand the depth of the offense, you have to look at the history. Historian Erika Coleman explains that associating black people with apes dates back to the 16th and 17th centuries in Europe and America. It wasn't a harmless comparison. It was a tool used to dehumanize and justify slavery and discrimination. This stereotype portrayed black men as violent, subhuman beasts. The 1933 film King Kong, which was released around the same time as the infamous Scottsboro Boys trial, only reinforced this racist imagery in popular culture. As Coleman stated, the racist ideology behind the ape metaphor is not a joke. It has had a devastating impact on black people globally. The backlash on social media was immediate and fierce. Kate O'Sammer, a black member of the UK Labour Party, tweeted her shock and dismay, asking H&M directly if they thought the image was an appropriate representation of a young black boy. The outrage wasn't just from politicians and activists. Celebrities who had previously partnered with the brand also spoke out. The Weeknd, who had been a face of H&M campaigns since 2017, announced he was severing all ties. He tweeted, "Woke up this morning, shocked and embarrassed by this photo. I'm deeply offended and will not be working with @HM anymore." The message was clear. This was not a minor slip-up. It was a major betrayal of trust. H&M's initial response on January 8th was widely criticized as weak. They issued an apology for causing offense, but didn't initially apologize for publishing the ad itself. They announced the ad was removed. But eagle-eyed internet users quickly discovered the hoodie was still for sale on some of their European websites, just without the model. As the firestorm of criticism grew louder, H&M released a second, more comprehensive apology the next day. This time they were more direct. A translated excerpt reads, "We accept all criticism. We got it wrong. We agree that, whether intentional or not, passive racism must be eliminated everywhere." They confirmed the hoodie had been pulled from sale globally and would be recycled. The incident left many people wondering, how could something like this even happen at a massive global company? The most obvious question was about their internal diversity. Did they have anyone in the room who could have flagged this as a major problem? The company claimed to have an inclusive environment, but the ADD seemed to prove otherwise. Interestingly, collecting ethnic demographic data is illegal in Sweden, where H&M is headquartered, which makes it difficult to get a clear picture of their workforce diversity there. But a deeper dive into the company culture revealed another issue: a strong internal culture that discouraged employees from speaking out or challenging decisions, especially in response to external criticism. This suggests that even if an employee had felt uneasy about the hoodie, they might have been hesitant to raise the alarm. In the aftermath, the consequences for H&M were very real. The brand faced boycotts and protests around the world. In South Africa, the situation escalated dramatically. Members of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party organized protests, marching through malls and trashing several H&M stores, forcing them to temporarily shut down. The controversy also had a significant financial impact. In the first quarter of 2018, H&M reported a staggering $4.3 billion in unsold merchandise, a 7% increase. Their operating profit plummeted by 62%, and their stock price hit its lowest point since 2005. While the company was dealing with other business challenges, the hoodie controversy undoubtedly made a bad situation worse. Even the model's family got caught in the crossfire. Liam's mother, Terry Mango, defended H&M, stating that she didn't see a racist connotation and that people should get over it. Her defense led to a vicious backlash, with people accusing her of being a traitor to her race. The situation became so intense that H&M had to help relocate her and her family as journalists swarmed their home. Faced with this full-blown crisis, H&M knew it had to do more than just apologize. 2 months after the ad ran, they took a significant step by appointing Annie Wu as their first-ever global leader for diversity and inclusion. Wu, a Taiwanese immigrant who had been with the company since 2012, was tasked with a monumental job: rebuilding trust and fundamentally changing the company from the inside out. One of her first actions was to travel to the US and South Africa to meet with both critics and supporters to listen and learn. Under Wu's leadership, H&M started to implement concrete changes. They hired a new head of inclusion and diversity for North America. They created a rigorous 7-step review system for all new clothing before it could be launched. They overhauled their photo approval process, requiring at least 12 people in the studio to review an image before it could be uploaded. They also built a system to flag potential cultural sensitivity issues at every single stage of production. The number of people doing final quality checks was increased from just 1 to 5. H&M also made a public commitment by 2025. They aimed for 100% of their employees to have equal opportunities, with diversity visibly reflected in all leadership roles. The key lesson here was the importance of acknowledging fault and understanding that simply featuring diverse models isn't enough. It's about having diversity in the decision-making process. In an interview, Annie Wu put it perfectly: "If we are honest, then we must admit a reality. Perhaps we overestimated ourselves. We need to challenge ourselves openly and constructively so that people everywhere can be more culturally sensitive, aware of racial issues, and more critical of how the world may view what we do." H&M's journey didn't end there. 2.5 years later, in June 2020, following the global protests after the murder of George Floyd, the company demonstrated a continued commitment to change. They pledged to donate $500,000 to civil rights organizations like the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the ACLU. H&M Group's CEO, Helena Helmerson, released a powerful statement. She said, "We also acknowledge our past mistakes. They made us deeply aware of how much we still need to learn. As a company, we are growing every day, but we can and must do better. Symbolic support is not enough. We will take action." The story of H&M's Coolest Monkey hoodie is a powerful case study in the modern corporate world. It shows how a single, thoughtless decision can ignite a global firestorm and expose deep-seated issues within a company's culture. But it also shows that it's possible for a company to learn from its catastrophic mistakes, to listen to criticism, and to take tangible, meaningful steps toward becoming more aware, more responsible, and genuinely more inclusive. The road is long, and the work is never truly finished, but the journey starts with acknowledging you got it wrong and committing to do better. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on how H&M handled this crisis? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world.